Okay, happy birthday, America. It is July 4th at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Unfortunately, my wife's at work on a 24-hour shift, so I am home with Shiloh, and we went and had breakfast this morning, and we're going to go to the pool as soon as she wakes up from her nap. So, and then we're going to go see fireworks tonight. So I'm trying something new here. I have another camera that somebody gave me, and so I've got that one recording and this one recording. This is the one I always record on. So we'll see what happens. Now I guess it'd be nice to have somebody behind the cameras tweaking them and doing some stuff, but I can't help that at the moment. Okay, so we talked about, I've teased a little bit in the last couple of videos about some 3D printing that a friend of mine was doing. I got all these things. So I'm going to do a full video here on the 3D printing. Hopefully you can see everything if I back out of the shot here. But I wanted to go over everything here. So this is most of the avionics for the Sling. And I wanted to tell you more about it. It started off when I went to a friend's hangar, and he had all these models of Garmin avionics. I said, hey, where'd you get those? And he told me that Garmin has on their website in the download section, you can download the step files, and you can 3D print everything. So it's not everything. The Garmin Height Advisor and a couple other things are not available yet, hopefully. I wrote to Garmin. The guy said, well, maybe, he didn't know. Wasn't quite as helpful as I would have liked, but anyway, and that got me to thinking, well, what about all the other people who have products for our slings? And so I started writing to them, and they're like, sure, we'll send you the 3D step files. So here is the Vertical Power, the VPX Pro, an exact copy of this, and it's got quite a bit of detail here, and you can print this with or without the stand, and we opted to print it, and man, it's amazing how much this comes out looking exactly like what it's going to be. So I don't know how much, if I had somebody behind the camera, they could zoom in on this stuff and show you some of the details on this, but anyway, here's the VPX Pro, so thank you to them. I contacted, let's see, who else? EarthX, the 900 battery for our slings. So there's the 3D print of that. Hopefully you can see that fairly well. The only people I had a little bit of back and forth with was the company that makes the ELT 345. But here it is. An amazing detail in here. Not a detail other than you can see what to plug in and where your antenna is going to go and all that sort of stuff. So there's obviously no components inside of it, so it's not proprietary. The case may be proprietary, but anyway, it's a great 3D print. So really liked it. Almost looks like you can just open this up and you can't, but it looks so good that it looks like you can almost do that. So there's the ELT. Let's see. Of course, I have all the Garmin stuff. Let me switch back and forth on cameras here. This is the G5 backup here with the G5 battery here. And because I'm not sure what I'm going to actually put into the Sling yet. We have the GNX 375 Navigator here, and I have here, let me put this down here, here's the GNX 650. I'm still pulling some little strings off that, but amazing detail back here. Let's see if you can see that. And let's see. Hopefully you can see the amount of amazing detail back here. But this is great. This is fantastic. So let me put that back. Got the G5. Here's the GAD 29 from Garmin. Here's the Edahars unit, the GSU 25, with all the bit stuff on the back. So it's really nice. Let me just leave that here. Hey, Shy Shy. Here we have the GTR 200. This is the comms radio. This is the one that is panel mounted. And you can see the front screen, and you can see all the stuff in the back and the antenna connection here. Put that here. And if you're going to do either way, whether you're going to do internal to the panel or external panel mount GTR 20 comms radio, this is the one that's the remote that goes in the back. That's good. Here's the audio panel, the GMA 245, and you can see all the details on that for the panel mount. So let me put that back. And let me put these back up on here. We have the autopilot servos, the GSA 28, and I printed two in a different color for pitch and roll here. And the let me see if you can see the detail on this is quite good. But I had some, I couldn't quite figure out how some of this stuff went into the airplane until I got this and sat it in where it mounts up, and I went, oh, that makes sense now. Okay. So we have the GMC 507 autopilot, and the LVL button would be right here. I said in one other video I thought it was here. It's not. It's over here. The knobs almost look like they can turn, but yeah, really good job, Garmin. And we have the magnetometer, the GMU 11 here. This one, the detail is phenomenal on here. Let me see if I can show you how good the detail is on this. And anyway, I know where this goes in my airplane, so that'll be fun. Okay, so I contacted, once I got through, oh, let me, here's the G3X, the primary display here with all the buttons. Now in this one, the little button over here broke off. I've got it right here. I just got to get some super glue and put it back on. So when you're 3D printing this, you got to be a little careful taking the things off, because the support's off, because it can break things. So there's the back of it. So let me put that back here. Okay, we have that. Thank you. So let's go across the front now. I contacted Rami, R.A. Martin, the antenna people. And so I've got the little fin transponder antenna here. Planning to have two comms radios in my Sling, so COM 1 and COM 2. Now this one had we just broke it off, and actually didn't even 3D print it because it's very thin. Comes up and back like this for underneath the airplane. But we just cut it off right there. Didn't even print that because it was so flimsy. Not that the antenna is, but the 3D print would be very flimsy. So this one just goes up straight, and we only printed a little bit of it. But and we've got the little bitty stubby transponder antenna right here, which you can see. No, you can't play with that. Leave it alone. Right back here we've got the ELT antenna that goes to the ELT. Now I marked this also as VHF antenna because the VHF antenna for my ham radio that's going into the airplane looks almost identical to this. So I just needed something to put it into the airplane and show things where it was going. Yeah. Let's see, what else? Okay, I contacted, over here, I contacted there's an infrared camera that you can mount under your wing. You can mount under your wing like this, and it goes into the feed goes into your G3X. You can just push a button, so if you're flying on a cloudy day, or it's misty, or a little bit of rain as you're coming into the airport, or you're just at night, and you want to show up the runway a lot better, you can turn on your infrared camera, IR camera, and this is the housing for it. And then have my friend kind of use some clear 3D print stuff right in here. So this is the mount, goes up underneath your wing. So that's cool. And then I contacted Wayland, WAT, for the lights, and they were happy to send the step files to me. So these printed up. The detail on these is really, really good. Let me see if I can show you that on the back. So here is our taxi light and our landing lights, and obviously they're the same thing, but on the 3D printing. But I printed up 4 of them. So for each wing, as we put them in the wings. Let's see, lights. Oh, okay. I don't remember the number from WAT for these lights, but this is the strobe light that goes on top of your vertical stab, and it's a little LED one, and they even have a 3D print of your mounting bracket here. And then your port and starboard wing lights. And I had it 3D printed in red and green for port and starboard. So, and it even comes with the mounting brackets, so you can play with that. No. And there's 2 different brackets that they have depending on which way you want to mount it. So they supplied both. It was great. So it's really nice to have this. Let's see. We've talked about the antennas. I don't know if I did this one. This is their GPS antenna, and I know we've got a couple of those, so I printed 2 just to have them. And I think that's basically it on these. Now, I did find something interesting. I was on the net, and I just typed in. I went to like printables.com and Thingiverse, and I can't remember the other ones, but. A friend of mine who does all my 3D printing, he gave me all these sites to look on. So I was looking, and I typed in Sling TSI, and this interesting piece came up here. Okay, and let's see if I can show it to you here. Rotate it around. I'm hoping you guys know what this is already. And so let me switch back over to this side. This is the pilot side. Your NACA duct comes in here, and this attaches to your NACA duct, and then has it splits inside here, and this channel is made to go down that side channel of your airplane right here to supply air to the passengers in the back. So it's actually made to fit right inside that channel. And then it's got this other piece here that comes off. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use this yet. I was looking at the way mine is built. And I'm not sure if I can modify this to the way that the Sling actually has it. But apparently a guy did this in his Sling. So anyway, I just want to show you there are other things open. There's a left side and a right side. The other one's inside the aircraft over there. And I just left it there. I figure one's enough. But I wanted there's a somebody created a overhead headset mount specifically for the Sling with holes and everything. So I haven't printed that one yet, but I have it in my file collection. So I wanted to go. Oh, here's this is called a V-Box Pro, and if you're interested, let me know, and I'll send you the link. But this is basically a black box for general aviation. It's a voice and data recorder, and you hook it in, and it's on a 50-hour loop. So it collects all your avionics data. Now I know the G3Xs collect for a certain amount of time, have memory to collect data. But this does, they have a voice and data recorder. And I think the difference is about $100. So I figure backup is always good. So this is a VBox Pro, and it just records all your discussions in the cockpit with air traffic control. And so it's recorded on your own little personal black box. And it, like I said, 50 hours before it overwrites. So I think that's a good thing to put into our aircraft. Now, the more technology we have, I think the better we all are. Let me think, is that everything? Yeah, VPX. I went over all of those. Antennas, lights, the IR camera, the G3X. I only printed one of these. We'll probably have two in the aircraft, but I don't need to print two right at this moment. I can always print another one later. But I wanted to show you all of this because this is all available. And so I think this will be helpful to some people when they're planning. Now, a lot of people go through Midwest Panel Builders, and they have all their CAD stuff, and you can just tell them what you want, and they know how to do all that. But some people like to do their own panels and wire it themselves. And so these are exact copies. So if you're building brackets and you're planning out your instrument panel, then I think this is well worth having, just to give you the spatial orientation of where things are going to go, and you can plan out your instrument panel, and you can make cutouts, and you can make brackets and all sorts of things to your airplane. So I think that's a pretty cool way to do it. So I have all of these. Now we're hoping to get that house up in San Angelo. I don't know if it's going to come through or not. We're hoping. You've seen the tour of that. But there is an EAA group up in San Angelo, so I've already made contact with them, and if we do end up moving up there and getting that house, then I'll definitely join the EAA group up there. I'll make this all of this stuff available to any of them who want to use it when they're planning their panels or using it for discussions or things like that in teaching. So I just wanted to give you a full-length video on all of the 3D printing stuff that I have now printed up for the Sling. I hope that many of you will find this helpful, and I'd like to thank all the people who support us, and they have products for us, obviously Garmin, Rami, Watt Lighting. I can't remember the people that do the ELT, but it's an ELT 345. If you just Google ELT 345, their company will come up. So I wanted to thank them for that. Let's see, the IR camera people. And you can find, we're starting to find some more things on the web now. That you can search for Sling TSI 3D printing and come up with some of this stuff. So interesting things. I'm working with somebody who's an engineer that can CAD stuff right now. I can't really show you. Well, anyway, you've seen the heater over here in my airplane. I'm looking for a reducer to go from 2 inches down to 1.25 inches. A reducer, and somebody's working with me to build that. I'll show you that once we perfect that. He's going to just CAD up something simple. I'll get it 3D printed, put it in the airplane here, and if it's not right, we'll keep tweaking it until we get it right. And then once it's where we want it, of course, that's going to need to be high temperature for the heater. So I won't be able to print it in just regular 3D print material. But to CAD it up and to get it all tweaked and working right, then you know we don't need anything fancy, so that's perfect. All right. Let's see, anything else? I think not. For those of you who are ham radio operators, there's a lot of brackets and all sorts of stuff for our 3D, I mean for our ham radios to help us keep them in good places, and brackets and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, you might, if you're a ham radio operator, you look into 3D printing a lot of this stuff. And okay, so I guess that's it for today from November 720 Sierra. Please like and subscribe. We're up to 277 subscribers. Of course, the next hurdle will be 300. Quite a ways from that, so tell some friends. And the click-through rate is probably about 75%. So people will, even my subscribers will view the material, but they don't do a like on the video. So if you could like all of the videos, that would be very helpful to the algorithm, so we can bring this to more people. So like, subscribe, and don't forget our GoFundMe account. And that's about it. I'll close out this one from November 720 Sierra. And I know this camera will work. We'll see how that one does. All right, thank you all very much. Happy birthday, America.